YouTube, this is Russell. Russell. Subscribe to the show at the top. Thumbs up the video and leave a comment at the bottom. I know I haven't made a video in the longest. Been busy with school and all sorts of stuff like that, but I'm back with you guys, to make a new video. So, of course, the most important topic of the day is George Zimmerman was charged with second-degree murder on Trayvon Martin. And now we all know the story. We all know there's a couple of loopholes and things like that. That's the reason why he's just now getting arrested, because the law in Florida, which I do not agree with, but you can't deny the reason why the cops did not arrest him is because you have the right to stand your own ground. And so he could say anything that he wanted to, and the cops will believe him. But I mean, they should give him a drug test, and not just drug test, the dead kid, and evidence will see how the actual events led up and what actually happened. They did a voice detection or whatever on the phone call. Looked at his voice on the phone, called to the police, and the neighbor's phone called the police with the help. And they said that it's only a 40% chance that was his voice. So they're saying that it's possible that it wasn't actually him that was screaming help. So we will see what happens, how all this unfolds within the next couple of months, weeks, days, years, or however long it takes for this to go to trial, and hopefully justice will prevail. And at the end of the day, regardless of what Trayvon did, or if he fought back or whatever, this man should not have followed this kid, regardless. And at the end of the day, there's someone who lost their son, there's someone who lost their boyfriend, there's someone who lost their brother, there's someone who lost their uncle, there's someone who lost their grandchild, there's someone who lost their child at the end of the day. And this man is sitting there guilty for murdering this kid at the end of the day because he only had a bottle of juice and some candy. Nothing threatening. So moving on, American Idol was on last night, and it was only 7 people left singing, and it took them 2 hours to perform. Fox, you guys need to do something else than have 2-hour-long competition show for only 7 people to sing. It's getting kind of out of the world. I guess when it's only down to 6 and have each of them sing twice as well as do a duet, it's like there's so much time that that could be used to put another show on after American Idol versus having a 2-hour-long show that gets boring after a while because you're seeing the same people perform because they're doing the duets and they're doing their own stuff, and you're forgetting who already has sung and who hasn't. And then when you have to do the duet, you have to make sure you have to sing well for that as well as sing well for the competition, which is super hard because if it's a hard song to sing, you don't want to use your voice too much, and then they say, oh, sing well on this blah blah blah. It's just getting overwhelming for me, and I feel as well for the contestants. XFactor, they're saying Britney Spears is going to get $15 million. They're about to sign a deal. I still don't agree with that amount for her. I don't agree with her being on the show. Yes, she could draw in a good audience. She will not bring in the criticism. Everything will probably sound like it's rehearsed for her because she doesn't talk at all right now. She doesn't do no promo. She doesn't do no commercial. She does nothing. Though she is going to be in a new commercial for Twister Dan, and her body looks kind of pretty damn good in that commercial, or the pictures of the commercial. So let's wait and see how she looks. But we have to also wait and see how she's going to be on the show because from what I'm seeing, what I've seen for her personality-wise, she is not bringing much to the picture, to the forefront. She is just, a mannequin who smiles and says yes, yes, who has everyone, she's a puppet basically, and I can't see her being able to do a live show and, actually be able to tell these people and be a mentor, be their captain of their team, whatever, and actually be able to tell them this is what you should perform, this song is how you should perform it, when she herself has never really been that control of her own career, so how could she tell other people what to do with theirs? And you could say what you want about Paula and Nicole and whoever does those shows, but Paula was a choreographer. She told dance troops how to dance. She told Janet Jackson how to dance. She controlled her own life. She was helped be a creative director for Janet Jackson as far as her control era choreography days. And so I can't see Britney being able to do that with her contestants. And for $15 million, I don't think she's worth that much for the show. And speaking of other shows like that, The Voice, Christina Aguilera looks like she lost a lot of weight in the face. She's dressing a lot better. Her hair's looking a lot nicer. It's not wild and crazy. She looks like she's gearing up for her new coming single to come out pretty soon. Because according to CeeLo, they have a collaboration or something like that. And I can't wait to hear what she has coming because she has all these long breaks between each album. It's almost like you only have 4 albums and you've been in the game for like 15 years. You should have had at least 6 albums by now, and there shouldn't have been such a huge break between Stripped and Back to Basics. You move that up, and you have had 2 more albums come out within this new time. Beyonce's had a new single come out for End of Time. I hope it might be the new remix because there's a competition for people to remix the song. And she too had a horrible time with this last era. First of all, Run the World should have been cut off as soon as it was leaked and had the horrible reviews. Only good part about that song was the performance she did on the Billboard Music Awards, which then looked kind of iffy because she basically copied the whole thing. She had too many music videos come out. She had too many. The songs got leaked. What she should have done is push the album back probably about a month, recorded some new songs, add some intros and outros, and then when that was done, she should have released Countdown and Party as the first 2 singles. Have it be, summertime, good feels music, and have those run out until September. And then, I don't know, she should have something else besides what she did. And then, What Goes Around Comes Back Around should have been out, released in, October-ish. It should have been Party, should have been the first song. And then had Countdown coming in between. And then it should have been that other song, What Goes Around. And then it should have been Love on Top. And it should have been End of Time right now. Or maybe some other stuff. She had too many music videos to be recorded, and it was just kind of all just too much at once, and then that's how a lot of her songs got lost. But End of Time will be coming out, and there's a music video already shot for it. Hopefully it doesn't look cheap. It looks expensive. And speaking of Beyonce, Timberland compared Aaliyah's career of what it should have been if she didn't pass away in that the airplane accident back in 2001, that she would have been on she would have been on Beyonce's level, and I totally agree with that because she was just venturing out into the acting, and she was doing the music and the dancing and the music videos and all that sorts of stuff, and she was really branching out and becoming more of an artist, and be more different, branching out more. And people could say, well, Aaliyah wasn't that great a performer. Look at Beyonce back in Destiny's Child days. She wasn't that great. She didn't come into her own as a performer until she was about 25. Until she got back with Destiny's Child, the Destiny Fulfilled, with the end of Dangerously in Love era or whatever. She wasn't that she didn't have that that she has right now. You could look at her and see where she lacked stuff, where first of all, dancing wasn't what it was then as it is now, as far as being a performer. Leah was a very laid-back person. She was still young. She was still growing as an artist. We see Rihanna. She isn't the best singer, but she has improved over the years, and she has improved with her image and style and music over the years. And so we could have seen the same thing happen for Aaliyah, and we weren't able to. And Timberland also spoke about a lot of stuff with the Breakfast Club, and I listened to the interview. He kept it real. He talked about the politics in the music industry. He talked about Aaliyah collaboration album. And you know what? I do agree with him that if anyone wants to do it, whether it's Drake or this person or the next person, come to them first. And don't do it for the money, do it for a charity, because it is sickening to see people make money just for off the dead, And moving over, Nicki Minaj released her new album, Pink Friday, Roman's Revenge. And, it got, average reviews. It's like probably about, I think it got a score of 44 or 55 or somewhere around there, which is not really good when you look at someone like J. Cole, who album those sold much far less than hers, and probably will sell far less. His album still had much rave reviews. To me, the album, though it sold excellent, it didn't sell as good as the first week sales of her first album. The music, it was too clashy. You have her doing, Stupid Ho and that kind of stuff, and Roman and Moscow and that kind of music and that kind of take, and Bees in the Trap, and then you have her do a song like Starships and that kind of poppy bubblegum stuff. I'm not upset about her doing that stuff. Maybe she should have went for a Fergie route versus doing a Katy Perry route. a difference between doing pop music that's more urban, doing actual bubblegum pop music. Yes, you're trying to cater to the white audience, to the bubblegum pop audience, but, you know, you're leaving your fans in the dust. And the way how the whole album was, you know, put together should have been 2 discs if she was going to do it like that. If she was going to have half the album be rap, half the album. She made it so blatantly obvious that she was trying to cater to 2 different people. She didn't do a great job at, you know, fusing the 2 together. And, you know, she talked about how these other female rappers, she dissed basically all of them, saying that they live in public housing type, low income housing type places, and they didn't venture out to do pop. You know what? That's their problem. They didn't have a blueprint to look at how they should be as a musician, as a artist, because you look at Nick, Foxy Brown, Lil' Kim, Lauryn Hill, Missy, and all the rest of them. They didn't have someone to look back onto to see, this is what I should do as a musician, because they were, you know, somewhat the first people in the 90s to do it. You didn't, MC Lyte didn't have someone to look back onto to see, oh, this is a blueprint. They were the founding blueprint of female MCs. And Nicki Minaj is able to come in 10 years later, 12 years later or so, and look at what they did and say, this is what they did, this is where they messed up, this is what I'm going to do. And, you know, that's what she has to do. And she's dissing them, talking about them because they didn't do the pop route. You know what? A lot of them did do the pop route. Look at Lil' Kim. She worked with Lady Marmalade. She did the song with Christina Aguilera. She did the Old Navy commercial. Look at Missy. She did go more pop. She did the Lady Marmalade. She did a song with Christina Aguilera. She did movie soundtracks. You know, she had the more fun dance club music. You know, and look at Eve. She did the Tamaree song, that's just more of a dance song that is hip-hop, and she still had the lyrical stuff, but, you know, it's something about Nicki Minaj and the way she presenting this new album, this new material going pop, blatantly trying to sing when she goes on TV. She doesn't sing live at all, or she just holds the mic up and smile. But you know what? She's making her money, and that's what she cares about, and it's not about the craft anymore, and I don't see how this album has anything to do with romance to begin with. But, moving over, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian are reported dating. I really don't care. We already knew that they were fucking around anyways. He was on the set of her music video that never came out because she was so upset about it. And you know what? This song, Kanye West, you really are hurting Kim more than you are helping her by releasing that song, because she's supposed to go to court for divorce, and Chris Humphrey wants to have cameras in the courtroom. And this is going to be more evidence for him to bring into the courtroom to go against Kim to get more money and exploit her for the type of person she is. And Kim doesn't want to have cameras in the courtroom, and so who knows, we'll have to wait and see how everything unfolds. And Drake had a new music video. He had one for Take Care, a song that I love from off the album, and Hell Yeah, Fuck Yeah, or whatever it's called. I like that song because it shows him as a young kid, and then he goes up into the Jewish church, not the church, but the temple, is it? And then, you know, he's having a good time out on the party. It looks like a nice, fun music video. It's one of his better music videos I've seen from him ever, compared to Take Care, which is just him and Rihanna hugging out in front of a white screen. It has all these different stuff that's supposed to have artistic meaning and stuff like that, but I'm not here for artistic meaning. I'm here for a fun dance music video with the African dance break. You know, they should have had incorporated something with that instead of just having one African guy dance in slow motion and the bull and the bird and how it's supposed to represent all this. So I'm not here for that. This is Russell, Amber Russell. Subscribe to the show at the top. Thumbs up the video. Leave a comment at the bottom to me what you guys think about Trayvon. Do you think this is a race thing? I must say I do think it's a race thing because, you know, even at the end of the day, even if it's not, you have all these white supremacists. I was on a YouTube video, and someone said, you haven't seen nothing yet, we're going to lynch all you guys. Really? But I bet you won't say that in person, though. You have all these white supremacists donating money to Zimmerman's website his dad created or whatever. And, you know, what do you guys think about Nicki Minaj's new album and Drake and his new videos and Beyonce? Do you think you guys are watching? Do you guys think about, and Jennifer Lopez, her new music video she had for Dance Again, or whatever it's called? The song's horrible, but she dances excellent in the music video. I'm glad to see her go back to her dance roots. It gives me a feeling of play is that the music video when she has a little dance break at in the middle towards the end. It gives me that when she does it with her boyfriend or whatever his name is. And excellent music video for a song. Russell Russell, subscribe to the show at the bottom and leave a comment and thumbs up the video. Peace. And something that I left out previously a bit less. And something else that I left out is I can still congratulate you, Nicki Minaj, but a lot of people are saying she's doing so much for the female rap community and being the first MC to do this and that and the third. Well, you have to take a look at what she has accomplished and compare it to what she is able to accomplish because of people who were the godfather, the groundbreakers, and the ones who actually came up and were the ones who were the originals, who she is, you know, using as a blueprint to shape her career, sort of. And you have to look at what they had to go through in order to be where they are, to allow her to be where she is. They may not have directly helped her, but they indirectly have some type of impact into her career. For instance, their music being played on pop stations, and you know, just their whole ability to get signed and have record labels to actually look at them. And you know, a lot of people are saying, you know, she's helping out female rappers. Yes, she is, because she's letting the labels realize that there's a need and there's a want for them. But when you look at the forefront, she really hasn't helped them at all. Have you ever seen her do a collaboration with any female rappers ever? No, you haven't. She's at this place in her career where she is able to do that, and yet she's not. And then she's not even making a shout out to any of them or trying to reach out and promote any of them. Whereas, like, you don't have to, but you can't say that she is helping them. And it's funny how her fans hate when the newcomers want to diss her or say stuff about her, but it's like, it was okay when she made a song called Time Machine back when she was on her come up and her mixtape days, and she had all these shots going at Lil Kim, and they're going back and forth. It was right for Nicki to do that. But when other people are doing to Nicki, Nicki is like, oh, I'm too high and mighty to even say anything back to these bitches. It's seen as oh, Nicki's a bigger person. No, she's doing it because she's scared, and she realized that she's in the same position that those people that she was talking about before. She's in their shoes now, and she understands. And you know, you can subscribe, thumbs up, subscribe to the show, and leave a comment at the bottom.